A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a decisive response to a surge in anti-Semitic attacks across Australia, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has announced the establishment of a dedicated Australian Federal Police (AFP) task force named Operation Avalite. This initiative comes on the heels of a disturbing arson attack on the Abbas Israel Synagogue in Melbourne, which authorities are now investigating as a potential act of terrorism. The task force aims to combat the rising tide of anti-Semitism that has recently plagued the nation, as highlighted by three notable incidents: the attack on the Raponlia Synagogue, an assault on the electorate office of Jewish Labour MP Josh Burns, and a vandalism incident in Woollera, Sydney. AFP Commissioner Reece Kershaw emphasized that this specialized unit will be equipped with enhanced powers to tackle threats and violence directed at the Jewish community and its representatives in Parliament. Special Operation Avalite will be an agile and experienced squad of counter-terrorism investigators who will focus on threats, violence, and hatred towards the Australian Jewish community and parliamentarians, he stated. Prime Minister Albanese has also pledged to visit the affected community, reinforcing the government's commitment to addressing these heinous acts. This announcement comes amid mounting pressure from the opposition, which accuses the government of allowing anti-Semitism to flourish unchecked. In a move to bolster security, Albanese has committed federal funding to enhance protective measures at Jewish community sites. Opposition leader Peter Dutton has vowed that under his leadership, funding for armed guards at Jewish schools and synagogues would be prioritized, alongside stricter migration laws to ensure that individuals committing acts of anti-Semitism face visa cancellations. However, ASIO Director General Mike Burgess has cautioned against placing blame on the government for the recent attacks, urging responsible discourse around the issue. The political landscape has become increasingly charged, with coalition MPs criticizing government officials for equating anti-Semitism with Islamophobia in discussions surrounding the synagogue attack. Liberal Senator Dave Sharma remarked that senior ministers have been creating an unnecessary equivalence between the two issues. Shadow Home Affairs Minister James Patterson echoed this sentiment, asserting that the government should not attempt to balance the experiences of different communities facing racism. Both the Islamophobia Register of Australia and the Executive Council of Australian Jewry have reported a rise in discrimination following the recent Hamas attacks on October 7th. When pressed on the matter, Prime Minister Albanese acknowledged the rise in anti-Semitic incidents, but refrained from addressing issues of Islamophobia directly. Anti-Semitism is a major threat, and anti-Semitism has been on the rise. We have seen incidents such as this that have been targeted specifically at the Jewish community, he affirmed. The recent arson attack has sent shockwaves through the Jewish community in Australia, prompting swift reactions from political leaders. Opposition leader Dutton, who visited the site of the firebombed synagogue, condemned the attack as an abomination and reiterated the need for a united front against anti-Semitism. He praised the efforts of law enforcement in addressing this terrorist act and emphasized the importance of standing in solidarity with the Jewish community. Prime Minister Albanese has faced criticism for his government's handling of the situation, with Dutton's opposition frequently portraying Labour as ineffective in combating anti-Semitism. In response to these criticisms, Albanese called for national unity, urging Australians to focus on collective action rather than political division. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, who is Jewish, has characterized the current climate as the worst level of anti-Semitism he has witnessed in his lifetime, echoing sentiments from the Jewish community regarding the escalating discrimination. Dreyfus has highlighted the government's proactive measures, including the prohibition of Nazi salutes and the appointment of a special envoy to combat anti-Semitism. As tensions rise, Prime Minister Albanese has defended his decision to engage in personal activities, such as playing tennis, during this critical time. He clarified that his schedule included multiple appointments, and his presence at the synagogue was during Shabbat, which limited media coverage. Meanwhile, ASIO has sought to reassure the public by stating that there is no intelligence suggesting potential copycat incidents following the synagogue fire. The establishment of Operation Avalite marks a significant step in the Australian government's commitment to safeguarding the Jewish community and addressing the alarming rise in anti-Semitism across the nation. As the task force begins its work, the nation watches closely to see how these efforts will unfold in the fight against hate and violence. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, So hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.